Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. How to maintain muscle mass but also grow a specific muscle, and I mean arms in this case, at the same time. Is it possible to do? And if yes, how to do it? Let's picture the situation. You are working your butt off in the gym and you still look the same. However, you want to increase the size of your arms or some other muscle group. Pick only one though. What should you do? How should you structure your training? Well, for the maintenance phase, you do MEV. This means minimum effective volume. This is the volume that will keep your muscles at the same point. They are not changing. Just you keep in the muscle mass. This can be as little as 5 sets per muscle group per training. So this is like my mindset philosophy. This way you'll keep all your muscle gains you made prior. Now, how to train muscle group that you want to improve? Remember, you can only pick one muscle group in order to make it grow. You keep the volume for the rest of the muscle groups the same, around 5 to 6 sets per training session, but you will start increasing the volume for your targeted muscle group. And in our case, it will be biceps and triceps. Let's take an example. We are doing push today, so we have a chest, shoulders and triceps. You do 5 to 6 sets for chest, the same for delts, and when it comes to triceps, you'll do 6 sets or 7 sets per training today. Next training, the volume for chest and shoulders will stay the same. The weights stay the same, so the weights and reps are unchanged for chest and shoulders. However, you'll, instead of 7 sets you did the previous training, you'll do 1 set more, or 8 sets. Next week you will add another set for triceps or biceps till you build up to 10 sets per biceps or triceps per training session. So now we are 4 weeks in the future. You can increase the number of sets to infinity because of the fatigue and so what now then? If you cannot increase number of sets, what are you going to do? What are we going to do? Well, this time in the future, you'll try to increase number of reps or increase the weight you work. The increments can be like a few pounds or 1-2 pounds. Doesn't have to be big jump. Regarding repetitions, do 1 rep more, not many more. Okay, just progressive overload. So this time you try to increase the number of reps or try to increase weight. So principle of progressive overload is next tool to implement. Just remember that you will have to have sufficient breaks between sets, as we are not training for marathon or endurance, but for the muscle gain. So don't rush and take your time. That is what I'm currently doing at the age of 50. And my arms grew 2.5 centimeters or 1 inch for my American friends in 5 weeks. Why is that? There is a theory behind it. Let me explain. This training style keeps your body low on stress, as we are not trying to grow everything at the same time. Hence, all the stimulus growth is created in the triceps or biceps, which is a small muscle group. Now, body will be confused and we'll have to adapt to the training stimulus by growing or becoming stronger. Anyway, let's see how this process looks like in the training. And I'm starting today's training with traditional warm-up. Don't skip this part, especially if you are older lifter. If you are younger, maybe you can get away with it, but you will pay in the end for it if you don't do any warm-ups. Trust me. Or don't, just do whatever you want. Just jump in straight into the working weight. You will see. But analogy would be, don't rev up the engine if it's still cold, if you want engine to last longer. Anyway, 2 sets for warm-up I'm doing today. This will be enough to get blood into the back muscles and warm muscle fibers, so they are less prone to breakages. Focusing during a warm-up on the correct form and applying mind-muscle connection principle, as it is many times mentioned by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Even during the maintenance phase, and don't take me wrong, I still train with an effort, so breaking sweat to speak. Well, the age plays a role as well. after age of 50 is not what it used to be when I was younger, but I'm getting there. Let's be honest. I'm now only on TRT and 4 IUs of growth hormone, but the strength is growing a little by little. When you incorporate proper training style and nutrition, you will have results and you don't have to go to extremes. With neutral grip, a lot pull down, I keep my chest up, shoulders down and back, and core tight. I'm also using belt, so it's helping me keep my core tight. Neutral grip should help with better isolation of the lats and stronger contraction, and allows for deeper stretch at the top and fuller squeeze at the bottom. Inhaling on the way up and trying to get full stretch whilst still keeping tension in my lats and not letting weight to pull up the joints in the shoulders. So don't let just the weight drop down and to stretch your hands so everything is just pulling with the joints. There is no muscle contractions. Okay? And of course I'm using wrist straps to help me pull down with my elbows and not palms, as this would involve biceps even more, and I don't want that. I want to isolate. I don't want to use biceps at all, but still activation of the biceps is required because your back muscles are much stronger than you can hold with your grip, and you want back muscle to give it a go. Resist the weight on the way up, fully extending your arms and allowing your shoulders to rise or protract for a deep stretch. Pullovers work both the chest and back, but you can shift the emphasis what muscle group you want to be involved. So keeping elbows tucked in and focusing on chest contraction targets the chest muscle, while flaring the elbows and moving the weight more back, further back, emphasizes the back muscles, the lats. Breathe out as you lower the handles and breathe in as you let them back up, and don't lock your arms at the top of the movement, meaning don't let the weight rest on your joints, so on your shoulder and elbow joints. Pullover machine has one big advantage over pull downs, that it doesn't involve biceps at all. This was go-to exercise for Dorian Yates. Dorian Yates would usually start back training with this exercise to not involve biceps, so biceps still strong, even though your back muscles will start to fatigue you. The common mistakes, however, when doing pullover with dumbbell, you can do the pullover with dumbbell across the bench, then bending elbows will recruit biceps and triceps. The machine doesn't allow that, as you push weight with your elbows and should feel lats working. When I'm doing this exercise, I'm trying not to arch my back excessively, because an excessive anterior tilt disengages abs. So I'm trying to keep my back glued to the back rest. So finishing the back exercise, we move straight into the biceps. This is what we are targeting today. And we start with dumbbell incline curls. So dumbbell incline curl is a isolation exercise. Bench should be around 45 degrees or so to allow full stretch of the biceps. I'm focusing on full stretch without locking my elbows at the bottom of the movement and curling the weight high enough to squeeze at the top of the movement. I have seen this exercise performed by Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie Pumping Iron, and there was no swinging the dumbbells. Not doing that. And I'm also trying to avoid curling with my wrist by keeping my wrist in neutral position. So I'm not doing this, okay? The next exercise for the biceps was EZ bar biceps curl. I'm not using straight bar, because when I'm using straight bar, I feel pain in my wrists. This boils down to flexibility. Let's not forget I'm in my 50s, not 20s or 30s anymore. This is an old school exercise performed by Arnold Schwarzenegger and many others. EZ bar curl, the main pros are reduced wrist and elbow pain. So it's increased comfort due to the angled grips, and it also gives better activation of forearm muscles when doing the biceps curl with the EZ bar. and versatility for targeting different parts of the biceps by changing grip width, making it great for the guys with the joint issues. Cable biceps curl primarily targets biceps brachii while also engaging the brachialis, brachioradialis, and forearm muscles as secondary movers. Using too much weight will force you to swing your body and lean back to lift the weight. I'm trying to keep my elbows as stationary as possible and tucked in. Don't flaring outwards my elbows. Keep them tucked in. By keeping my wrist straight or slightly bent backward without flexing them will make my biceps work instead of forearms. I'm quite slow on eccentric or way down, always keeping tension in my biceps by not allowing the weight crash back on the stack, as I've seen other guys doing. The last exercise for today's biceps was standing biceps curl. Primarily works biceps brachii, but also heavily involves brachialis, this muscle under the biceps, and brachioradialis. This is this part, the forearm. Okay, this brachioradialis for elbow flexion. So while your core, abs and obliques works isometrically to stabilize your torso, and even your front delts assist a little bit in the movement as a secondary movers. Thank you for watching, and if you don't mind, hit this like and subscribe button to help my channel. If you have any questions or suggestions, write them down in a box below, or message me on Facebook or Instagram. And as always, have a great workouts, brothers. Peace.